This is the OsteoTie burr range. It's quite simple and short. The pilot burr comes in one length, which is 20 millimeters long, and it has increments and dividers along its length and is color coded white. There's a white band on the top and the diameter is 2 millimeters. The next implant size in the range is the 2.8 diameter implant, and this works for our 3.25 diameter implants. So this is the sizing burr in D1 bone for our narrowest implant, the 3.25, and it comes in two lengths, a 12 millimeter length and a 20 millimeter length. Then we move up the sequence to the next one in order, which is our 3.2 millimeter burr, which is for our 3.75 millimeter long implants. And again, there's a long and a short version. And the final burr in the sequence is for our 4.5 millimeter diameter implant and is a 4 millimeter diameter implant. Burr, and again it comes in the two lengths, long and short. That's 12 and 20 millimeters in total. I'm just going to go through the various marking depths on the bone preparation instrumentation. These marking depths are common to all our instruments. So the pilot burr only comes in one length, and that is 20 millimeters long. And the depth marks, as you can see, start at a 5 millimeter line. There is then a band at 7 to 8 millimeters, a second band at 8 to 12 millimeters, and a final band at 15 to 17 millimeters. The last, or the three bands if you like, all correspond to various implant lengths. So OsteoTie has a short implant at 7.5 millimeters, so that would fall between the first band of 8 to 7 millimeters. There's an implant length at 10 and a further one at 12, and the longest implant that we manufacture in the range is 15 millimeters, which is the bottom of the last band. So as I say, these band markings are common to all our instruments and make it very easy to prepare your osteotomy site. Rather than having individual increments on the burr which are difficult to read, you basically select the band that corresponds to the implant you wish and ensure that you drill to the correct depth. Now the last three burrs in the range of implant burrs all come in long and short versions. The short version is 12 millimeters long and has a stop at 12 millimeters, and this is very useful when working posteriorly where opening and access might be difficult, or where you're working to 12 millimeters and perhaps the visibility isn't that good, or you know that the burr will automatically stop at 12 millimeters. So again, the bandings are the same, although there's fewer of them. We start at 5 millimeters, we go to 7 to 8 millimeters, and we go to 10 to 12 millimeters. Now, remember there's the long version of this with the same markings as on the pilot burr. And these markings are common to all, and we have, as I say, three sizing burrs to match our implants and one pilot burr. Now the next method of site or bone preparation that we will be covering in the course is bone manipulation or site forming. And this technique, no drill is used at all. This is totally manual, and the purpose behind using this kind of approach is to try to increase the density at the site by compressing the trabeculae, so improving its primary fixation capabilities. So again, the markings on the site former are exactly the same as on our burr range. We have a 5 millimeter mark, we have a next band at 7 to 8 millimeters, the band after that at 10 to 12, and the final band at 15 to 17, and then a mark at 20 millimeters. So
Again, as with the burrs, each of the three bands represent implant dimensions. So the first band is our 7.5 implants, our second band represents our 10 and 12 millimeter long implants, and the last band is for our 15 millimeter long implants. So the three bands in between are representative of actual implant sizes. And site formers are used under hand pressure, and they are used in the maxilla only, and they're used in the posterior and anterior maxilla, and they're particularly useful when you've got D2, D3 or 4 type bones in increasing the mechanical properties, as I say, by compressing the trabeculae as you're forming the osteotomy site. You don't use a drill at all, you just use the site former, and that compresses the bone as you drive it into the softer bone, making it dense so that it gives good grip and fixation for your implants. There are now on the market other types of burrs available, which we'll be discussing, that do pretty well the same thing as a site former.